We're continuing our team coverage tonight on the Haitian migrant influx in the city of Springfield. It is now the first day back to school for kids in Springfield and the first day of extra safety resources on campuses across the district. Lydia Bice spoke with district and state leaders. So Lydia, how did it go today?
That's right. Governor DeWine held a news conference today after he visited several different Springfield schools where he says the teachers told him the recent bomb threats have taken a toll. Now, Superintendent Dr. Bob Hill said attendance was low again today, and he's urging parents to send their children back to school.
What we're told by the teachers is that the kids were doing well, and we could just see it in the classroom. Teachers also, though, told us that the kids had had a tough day yesterday. I think they used the term as a rough day.
That rough day caused by the bomb threats that bombarded the Springfield City School District over the last week. However, as of yesterday, Governor Mike DeWine and the state of Ohio implemented more safety measures at Springfield schools, like 2 Ohio State Highway Patrol troopers in each building and a surveillance tower outside of the high school.
These resources make our schools safe. Our attendance was down today. There is still a high level of fear due to these unfounded threats and hoaxes that have marred our existence, really, for going on a week now.
However, some parents telling me that they still don't feel comfortable sending their children back to the classroom.
I've honestly been a parent that has not been sending my kids to school. I think they went the first day after the debate, but I have not sent them since. They get scared. They don't know what to do.
But the district says they now have the resources to keep children safe.
I encourage our parents to please return your students to school. We have the resources.
And it's not just students who are afraid and feeling the impact of these threats. Teachers are too.
We have some amazing teachers. You know, when you talk about the teachers, every teacher friend I talked to today was up. They were just the type teacher that you would want for your own child, your own grandchild.
Again, district officials and Governor DeWine are urging Springfield parents to send their kids back to school, as there will be 2 Ohio State Highway Patrol troopers and heavy surveillance at each school building. Back to you.
And of course, we've been keeping you up to date on air and online. You can find all our coverage right now at Dayton247now.com. A local high school student could soon face disciplinary action after a gun was brought to school. That's according to police. It happened just before 12 this afternoon at Wayne High School. Now, the school district says they received reports a student may have a gun. They took immediate action and contacted police. The school says the student was taken into custody. Now, they also thank everyone for the quick actions of the administration, police officers, and the school resource officers. A Dayton mother who pled guilty to child endangerment apologizes in court and promises to do better. This woman, 21-year-old Haley Ryan, was sentenced to 5 years probation and 180 days in jail with 90 days suspended. The judge also ordered she cannot have any issues on the ballot and even highlight the importance of casting your vote.
It's very important to talk about why you want to vote and have your voices heard.
Yes, I also agree with what she said. It's very important for students to know that they need to register to vote. They have that choice to do it. And so if we can get as many students on campus to go out and vote, that's what we're going to do.
As women, people
organizers of the tour say no matter what students' political ideology is, it is important for them to understand the democratic process and to make their voices heard. Well, the Dayton unit of the NAACP just wrapping up with a voter registration drive-through event. The organization helped people register to vote and check their registration status. The organization says they're trying to bring attention to voters, the importance of participating in the upcoming election.
It is the most important election in our lifetime. And so one of the goals of the NAACP is to let people know how important this election is. And you have to treat it as you would treat one of the most precious things.
And as the general election approaches, here are some important dates to keep in mind. Military and overseas absentee voting begins this Friday, September 20th. The deadline to register to vote for the November election is October 7th. You can register in person at the boards of elections until 9 p.m. or online at 11:59 p.m. Absentee and early in-person voting begins the following day on October 8th. Now, early in-person voting includes the 2 Saturdays and Sundays before Election Day. And Election Day, of course, is November 5th. Polls open at 6:30 in the morning and close at 7:30 that night. As the election gets closer, you can find all our coverage of those issues and on the ballot, plus details on the candidates who are running at Dayton247now.com. Just click on the election heading in that news tab. Big tech pushing back what dozens of state leaders are now urging Congress to put on social media platforms. And OSU getting ready for this weekend's home game, how the team is using their early season bye week to its advantage.
Plus, I'm tracking our drought conditions as well as another chance for rain in the forecast. I'll let you know when that's coming up. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
The Sports Desk is sponsored
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
The northern lights were out in force last night. From upstate New York to Montana, the Pacific Northwest, and even as far south as the Texas Panhandle, a coronal mass ejection triggered a severe geomagnetic storm and the ensuing dazzling displays of color. Fall is starting to show its colors, at least here in Fairbanks, Alaska, and this lonely iceberg was spotted during a cruise to Greenland.
Listen to Off the Radar. Find it wherever you get your podcasts.
Dozens of attorneys general across the country are now calling on Congress to put warning labels on social media platforms, but big tech is pushing back. National correspondent Angela Brown explains.
42 attorneys general signing this letter right here, supporting the Surgeon General's call for Congress to require warning labels on social media platforms. Here you can see the signature of Tennessee's AG.
The Surgeon General had issued a warning already saying, we've been looking at this and there's evidence that these platforms cause problems for kids. The Surgeon General is able to put warnings on products.
But some tech experts say these AGs are crossing the line, infringing on free speech.
The government is coming out and saying this form of speech is dangerous. This form of speech is okay. And it is a clear violation of the First Amendment. It is chilling free speech.
Carl Zabel is the vice president and general counsel for NetChoice and says the AGs are missing the mark.
For example, today, less than 1% of reports of child sexual abuse material even get investigated. That's the job of an attorney general.
But the job of the U.S. Surgeon General is to be the nation's doctor. The Surgeon General explaining in this New York Times op-ed that adolescents who spend more than 3 hours a day on social media face double the risk of anxiety and depression symptoms.
A digital label that would appear regularly when you use social media, that would help to inform parents and their kids about the risk.
On the federal level, this past July, the Senate passed legislation designed to protect children from dangerous online content. In Washington, D.C., I'm Angela Brown.
Well, the drought continues for us here in the Miami Valley. We do have severe drought conditions right here in Montgomery County. So let's talk about some of the impacts that we see from those severe drought conditions. Of course, cracked soil, creeks begin to dry up. We eventually get dormant lawns. I know that my grass and my lawn has yet to grow in about 2 weeks now. Brush and wildfires become possible for us, and then also just a low crop yield. Even livestock begins to become stressed, especially once we go into the next level, which potentially could be extreme drought conditions. Now here's a look at what's going on our satellite radar. A few showers actually approaching our western or eastern counties. However, not a whole lot of that is actually reaching the ground. We're tracking this area of low pressure that will continue to weaken, but a better chance of rain next week. I'll talk about it in just a bit.
Welcome into the Bob's Discount Furniture Sports Desk. The Buckeyes are back at it after an early season bye week. This Saturday, they welcomed the Marshall Thundering Herd to Ohio Stadium. OSU head coach Ryan Day says, while having a break this early in the season isn't ideal, the team, though, used it to their advantage.
You just watch. You watch the coaches, you watch the players, you watch the demeanor, you watch the body types, you watch the situations, you learn from it. It just gives you a great perspective as you don't find yourself in those situations very often, especially early in the season. So, it's something that I think our guys, had an opportunity to do, and we brought up some of those situations on Sunday.
Saturday's game kicks off at noon inside the shoe. And the latest proposal presented to the Hamilton County Commissioners to upgrade Paycor Stadium is well above $1 billion. As James Pilcher reports, those improvements would benefit not only the Bengals, but make the stadium more usable for other events.
This proposal presented to Hamilton County Commissioners today calls for $1.25 billion in upgrades to Paycor Stadium to be completed over a 4-year period. It would include several new features to the home of the Cincinnati Bengals, most notably a separate building next door which would serve as the team's training facility as well as team headquarters. That would clear out more space inside the existing stadium for more amenities, the document states. All told, the proposal would create an additional 500,000 plus square feet on the Paycor footprint, according to the proposal created by MSA Sport. The Bengals and the county are in negotiations to extend the team's lease, which expires in June 2026. What improvements to include from this proposal and who will pay for them will now be part of those talks. The county already spent $39 million on maintenance upkeep this last off-season, and the new proposal includes about $200 million in similar maintenance work. The upgrades would take about 4 years to complete. That's because it calls for the Bengals to keep playing in the stadium while construction is underway.
Well, Thursday Night Lights is back, and every single week we've already been highlighting a local matchup between schools across the Miami Valley. This week we're going to be out at Tri-Village as the Patriots take on the Ansonia Tigers. We're going to be broadcasting that game over MyTV Dayton. That's 22.3 over the air and Spectrum Channel 24. We'll also catch you up on the best plays that night right here at Dayton 24/7 Now.
Well, tracking some showers around the area, mainly east of us for the day today, but we do have a chance for rain arriving by next week. So we are starting to see signs of potentially a frontal system making its way into the area by the start of the next work week that could increase our chance for rain. For right now, though, we're mainly going to be dry, some clouds around through the middle and end of this week. It's not until we start off next week we'll have an approaching storm system that will increase our rain chances, mainly for our Monday and Tuesday time frame. We'll see the chance for some showers, maybe even a thunderstorm or two if we do get this cold front to develop. And there are signs of that happening, which would eventually bring us a little bit of a cool down as well. So we're tracking that closely because, again, much needed rainfall is a potential as we head into next week.
The National Museum of the United States Air Force unveiling something top secret. The new exhibit giving you a look into the world of spying. You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now.
Boys, there's a lot to learn at
The Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
I spy with my little eye a new exhibit at the National Museum of the U.S. Air Force. Top secret license to spy explores the science and technology of spying and espionage. Tej Joshi stopped by earlier this morning to see what you can uncover at the new exhibit.
There is a very cool, very interactive exhibit now open at the National Museum of the United States Air Force, all about spycraft and the science and technology that goes into spycraft. It's called License to Spy. It is now open, and it is super cool because when you first walk in the main entrance right here, you actually grab one of these papers. It's your mission for this interactive exhibit, and you can use this to walk around the exhibit and actually try out all the different interactive spy devices and learning apparatus while you're here, and there's a debriefing room while you're here. I also want to just show you some of the truly interactive items here. A code room where you can learn to code break and how different code systems work. You can actually come right here and see a voice modulator and how that works. That's a fan favorite for their kids. But there are so many other interactive parts here. My personal favorite is the laser maze that myself and even kids, everybody who comes to this place can actually go through to see if you are a spy, maybe in a secret vault, what that would be like. This is a very cool exhibit promoting science, technology, and making that fun and accessible to young people, and no matter to anyone who comes into the exhibit right here at the museum. This will be open for a few months, so make sure you bring your kids and grandkids to enjoy. My friends, we'll send it back to you in the studio.
Well, warm and dry weather continues across the Miami Valley. In fact, getting even hotter by Saturday. High temperatures close to 90 degrees, mid-80s on Sunday. Now, there are signs of some rain in the forecast. By next week, we'll be tracking the chance for some showers Monday and Tuesday. So we're going to have to watch that very closely. It all depends on how this system develops. We'll have a trough that will make its way through. And if we get an area of low pressure to develop, then I think we could very well see some rain chances right here in the Miami Valley. Likely won't be enough to relieve us from the drought, but we'll take anything we can get at this point.
Yes, we will.
Because it's going to be dry through the majority of this weekend.
Yeah, and I know that Eli did a story, but this is what, the first really severe drought we've seen in 22 years statewide?
Yes, it has been exceptional drought for our southeastern counties, especially need that rain.
Dayton 24/7 Now is sponsored by